I first received a request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box and Zvadi was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. Then I handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th. That's stuff we pretty much heard before. Yeah, but we'll find the truth hidden in the nuggets of new information he gave. Witness, you're sure there's no mistakes this time? Zvadi. Very well then. So I'm gonna skip ahead. See what they say at the end. Not a lot to go on, is there? That detective's been covering his tracks. There's only one thing we need to prove in this cross-examination. That he took the photo well before the night of the actual crime. Right, how do we prove that? There's one thing that Atme stated very clearly, that he had never seen the urn before he stole it. We need to prove that he's lying. Welcome to the stream, Triple Death Star. How we doing? How's your weekend been? The urn was placed in a box, and Svari, it was then sent to the warehouse. You mean this box? Yes, that pathetic box. Lady Andrews was especially taken with that urn, and she wouldn't let anyone enter the storeroom, not even me. Huh, interesting new tidbit. This line interests me, but I'm not entirely sure about it yet. How did he know it was in a box then? That is true. So you're sure that he'd never seen the urn before? Indeed, you may ask Lady Andrews to confirm yourself. My security was focused entirely on the entrance to that warehouse. However, I, Luke Atme, let no information whatsoever slip through my fingers. Oh, piss off, actually. Hold on a second. Yeah, if you really are Master Mas, then you also wrote this calling card. But of course, is there a problem with the calling card? Yeah, take good of that speckled urn. Now, the speckled there refers to the paint. Surely this refers to the pink pattern. Boom. Speckled urn. Refers to the pink pattern on the sacred urn, huh? Yes, that's true, but so what? Truth be told, there's no way that Master Mas could have known about this pattern unless he's seen it before. This pink spotted pattern on the urn is nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains, and these stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lordly Taylor. So you'd seen it. I'm not finding this joke to be very funny, Mr. Trite. The day that the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to the human error, or should I say, an error-prone human. And that's when the pink paint got on the urn. Ugh, you can't be serious. And yet this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern, which means Detective Atme had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. And because this photo is a fake, your alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water. Oh, are we done? Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself? Ugh. Oh, right, that did it. He's broken. Nick, I think it's a little early for a victory pose, huh? He's not buying it. Ha! It's so sad. No one has any conviction these days. Conviction, you say? Yesterday, we all decided unanimously that this man was Mask the Mask, and now we're calling him a murderer. You don't think we're being a tad fickle? That's a good point. No way, don't fall for that too, Your Honor. You say that Luke Atney was the one who killed Cain Bullard, but let me ask you this. Why would he do that? An excellent point. Motive, Mr. Wright, motive. Might you, my merry murderous motive manifest? He's getting his second win, Nick. If you prepared an alibi and pinned his crime around the light, as you say, he must have had a very strong motive for murder. The only one with any motive we've seen is Ron DeLight. So, isn't that right, Detective? Indeed. According to my own research, the boy's motive is clear. Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us to what the defendant's motives were. I'd be honored to, Sir Oldtimer. They're going to do everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this may be our only chance. Okay. I, Luke Atney, had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. Cain Bullard decided to investigate Mask the Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron DeLight. And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. DeLight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is Mask the Mask. That is why Mr. DeLight saw it to fit to kill Cain Bullard. Truly a tragedy. So the victim, Cain Bullard, blackmailed the defendant? This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. A handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter. What? So it was written by Bullard. Okay. Very well, Mr. Wright. Begin your cross-examination. I, Luke Atney, had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. Cain Bullard decided to investigate Mask the Mask and simply mistook who he was. I'm reading it again. Let's see what they say at the end. So you're going to try and connect Atney to Bullard, right? Yeah. That's right. Hopefully it won't require surgery either. In that case, you have to talk about the blackmail. Was that blackmail letter really intended for Ron? Since we don't have enough... Wait, was it really intended for Ron? What do you mean, was it intended for Ron? The red diamond on his hand? If you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron DeLight. But whatever it feels to you. Objection! Yes. Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Atney? Well, if it's just a few, I guess that's all right. When you said that this letter was addressed to Ron DeLight, I couldn't help notice one major contradiction. Contradiction? I don't know where a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that. You're one to talk. At times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fists. Why don't you show us what you got there, Junior? Indeed, time to man up, Mr. Wright. Show us the contradiction evidence in the content of the blackmail letter. Well, I can't exactly point to the red diamond in his hand. So what else have I got? I can't save right now, no. Once it gets to this like screen, I can't save. Once it prompts the the court record by itself, I can't save. I wish I could see the bottom. Oh. Wait. The Tear of Emanon jewel, he got it back. And received a red diamond. But I'm feeling it's this, but the fact that Ron Delight's in there makes me think it's not. I could present this, but this only... We don't see a red diamond. Yes, but like he received the red diamond as a reward for taking back or retrieving the blue diamond or blue jewel. So there's one of these two. We'll go with this. Yay. Take a good look at this newspaper clipping. It contains the picture of the Tear of Emanon, the stolen jewel. What about it? The problem is this jewel's color. Was I completely off base about the ring? I'm not much for discussing color myself. According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. I always thought it was red, to be fair. Totally different jewels mentioned. I'll take that red diamond you received the other day. Red. Danny, are you in chat right now? Pipe up in chat if you are. Is that a hydrate? Spin a bit, to be fair. Danny is not in chat. Sorry. You may have seen her in chat before, Danny with the Tata. Personal friend of mine, she is. And she's asking me, so who stole the vase in the end? I'm like, the vase in the end. And I'm like, oh, the urn. And I'm like, are you watching the stream? Because we solved that a while back. Cool. Which means the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the Tear of Emanon that the mask stole after all. Objection. And your point is, Mr. Trite? So you're trying to say that this blackmail letter was intended for someone else? That is what you're trying to say, right, Trite? That is what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Wright? Well, is that what you're trying to say, right, Nick? Yes. This is who Kane Bullard was actually blackmailing. Look at me. Naturally, it was you, Luke. Detective Atme. Do you have some sort of basis for that claim? You have been personally involved in every single Mask the Mask case. And in the last case, you recovered what you were stolen and received a jewel as your reward. A jewel? Probably the one wrapped around... Oh, so I was right. One wrapped conspicuously around your finger. That red diamond ring. That is the red diamond referred to in the letter, which means Kate Bullard wrote that letter in order to blackmail you. It was you. In order, wait, what? It seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Trite. Uh-oh. Don't like the way you said that. Kane Bullard blackmailing Luke at me. Are you for real? Yes, I am. Nick, come on, stand up to him. You! Then answer me this. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. Don't want your identity to be revealed to the world. Yes, it certainly does. Kane Bullard threatened to make Luke Atmey's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep a secret. So just what was that identity? Okay, let's have a look. Because he was afraid of his secret becoming known, Atmey killed Kane. What was the identity he wanted to keep secret? But he's not Master Mask. That's stupid. This is already public. This is the only one that makes sense, but I wouldn't have guessed that either. Yeah? Luke Atmey was a blackmailer. Huh? Objection! I don't quite get it myself. Hey now, isn't that a little bit different from what you've been saying? You said that Kane Bullard was the one blackmailing Atmey. Are you saying that Atmey was blackmailing someone else on top of that? You have to admit, that does sound a little odd. See, it's not odd, it's the only thing that makes any sense. Kane Bullard was the one blackmailing Luke Atmey. But Ron DeLite was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. Did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yes, just a few days after the Tear of Enemon heist. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from some very kind person, incredibly detailed plans. Detailed plans, in which case, that would mean Ron DeLite was actually Master Mask. That is what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. DeLite steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than Luke Atmey. Shh! Silence! Now I see. It's all becoming clear. Next you'll say, Zvadi. Or not, maybe not. Usually he does that. When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless, with a tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong? How did you... You say that I, Luke Atmey, was blackmailing Ron DeLite, in which case I would naturally know all about his relation to Mask the Mask. Well, yes, Ron DeLite started, Hey Danny! Don't know if you know this, but Nabil, who I don't know who is in chat right now, gifted you a sub to my channel. So you have a little star next to your name. It's all good. You can also use my emotes too, so that's all good. How you doing? You've missed a lot, to be fair, actually. Which is why I've been streaming for 4.5 hours almost. But yeah. Ron DeLite started receiving plans from his second crime onward, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed that first crime. Good point. You certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise. In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. During the first crime, how did Luke Atmey know that Ron DeLite was Master Mask? How did Luke Atmey know that Ron was Master Mask? Is it because of this again? Take that! I didn't even mean to press that. I meant to look at it. I think I see it. I see what? Because Ron was in his guard uniform, but he discarded the. Remember he said he discarded the outfit in a nearby trash can. So he must have looked in the trash can and seen it. Oh, no, I was wondering where you've been all day, Danny. 7 hours later, geez. Mood though. As I woke up at like 6:30 myself. I'm missing out on my burrito at the moment. It's wrapped in aluminium foil, so it should be okay. It should be okay. Aluminium keeps heat. Gets into lots of mischief, trying to be the center of attention. What do you mean? This newspaper clipping. It has a picture of you and Ron DeLite in his guard uniform. It seems that Mask the Mask didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket. That sounds far too stupid to be true. Correct. With tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Acme. That's when you learned that... Why does it keep doing that? It keeps skipping text. It's doing it by itself. What the? Wasn't he supposed to be Master Mask? Not only that, he looks like he wasn't even an ace detective. I can't believe it. He was just a slimy blackmailer. But a fraud trying to pass himself off as an ace detective. Oh, he doesn't like that. Woke up and my first thought was, oh no, who stole the vase? Yeah, no. It got fucked. I'll have to tell you about the whole thing later, but it got fucked. Like, now, like, there's a whole murder involved now. Why, how dare you expose me like that? Why, I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I mean, I'm a famous and proud ace detective and also Master Mask. Why can't you understand that? I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity. Why how dare you even... Oh, I can't even... Yeah. Please, go on. I wish I could read his dialogue, but I can't see it all. Jeez, I can't read it out loud as fast as the text goes. It would seem we've finally arrived at the real answer. Danny, I believe you just joined us at the end of this case. Bailiff, please prepare a cell for Mr. Acme. Wait, what? Am I bothered? Computer says no. Do I look bothered? The hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim. What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling. Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge. You don't get much more in your face than that. It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Wright. What do you... It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Acme was a filthy blackmailer, and that he wasn't at Lordly Taylor that night of the murder. That's right. That's why he's the one who killed Mr. But there's still one thing you have yet to prove. What's that? Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse of a man was at KB security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered. No way! Well, Mr. Wright, this is it. This is the final round. I've got... Shit. Got to prove that Acme was at Mr. Bullett's office that night. But... can we really prove that? That's long enough. Mr. Wright, I want to hear your answer. That night, Luke Acme was at KB's security defense, and the defense... I don't think we can prove it, you know. I've made a save already, so let me make another save already, but I don't think we can prove it. Well, let's say we can prove it. Are you sure? Don't worry, I'll watch over you as you break down and fall to pieces. Oh, you know what? I for real don't have any proof. There's nothing that sticks in maybe the key card. Take that! This is the proof. Oh, that's not gonna fly. Okay. I don't know if I have any. Let me try that there's no evidence. I can't prove it. Just as I thought. Ah, shit. Did we fuck it? But if we hear more of Detective Acme's testimony... Unfortunately for you, that's as far as you go. What do you mean? I won't allow for any more testimony. That's what I mean. What? Have you forgotten? Luke Acme here is here after we interrupted his own trial. You have failed to prove that he committed the murder. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial and face his guilty verdict as Master Mask. No. Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Mask the Mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delight will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Are we about to get a bad end, or that's enough deliberation over this witness? I can't believe this. At this rate, Ron is... Don't give up now, Nick. We still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence, and we don't have till tomorrow. It'll be too late. Because he'll go back to his trial, get his guilty verdict, and then we can't try him for the murder. Double jeopardy. Yeah. He can't be tried for the same thing again. Should the defendant be tried and found innocent in court, that defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is the fundamental rule of all courts, and it applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else. Mr. Atme will be found guilty. Mr. Atme will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty is Mask the Mask, which means he will be innocent as far as the murder of Kane Bullitt is concerned. No way. The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Atme's guilt of that crime here means that he will never be tried again as Kane Bullitt's murderer. Ah, shit. Is it fucked? Now, there's nothing I could possibly do to win. Even if Ron is claimed to be innocent, the real killer, Luke Atme, will go free. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today, and as long as there is no more testimony... what is going on here? I'm afraid I'll have to declare there will be no further questioning. Are there any objections? Yeah, I'm waiting for an interruption, honestly. Who's messaging me? My phone? Okay. Thereby, I end the cross-examination. Oh, fuck. Objection! Who's that? Is that Francisca? Sorry. I think I see it, Your Honor. When you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result. How did you... Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Wait, who is this? That voice, no way. Oh, Mia. I didn't recognize the voice. I thought that was Francisca for some reason. I swear that was the same voice clip. And as I utter the words Francisca Von Karma, here comes Von Karma's #1 fan, Solidus. Welcome to the stream. Mia really came as clutch right now. This is the true power of the Korean channeling technique. I know that it's really Maya standing before me. But right now, she's my mentor, Mia Fey. What BS? Nobody smiles in court unless they get guilty, getting away with it. Are you serious? Amazing timing, lol. Now, let's do this. But there's nothing more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine. Not yet. The testimony is not over yet. What? What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here to get today. Yes, that's true, but unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks. Oh, now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective, as well as Mask the Mask. My verdict will verify that, just as Ron Delight will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Yes, but those comments appear to have no importance whatsoever. Very well, then we should prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that all right with you, prosecutor? Is something the matter, Mr. Godot? Nothing. Huh? What's going on? It looks like you're Oh, Sir Lawyer, it looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehoods will do anything to me, Luke, let's hear it. Huh? It's true that the witness has made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination. It's my favorite. like my favorite little jingle. Ooh, I can't see my keyboard. What's that from? It's from my own. It's I composed that. All the jingles you hear, like all the alert jingles you hear are pieces of music that I composed. It's from the game, an RPG game that I'm making called Palace Quest. It is the leitmotif of one of the characters called Ariel, which basically goes. Wait. Ah. Shameless plug. Yeah. Look it up, Palace Quest. There's a demo out and everything. Well, a demo out, everything. Also, you can, like, if you look in the About Me part of my Twitch channel, then you'll see a character called Opal, lovely witch. Click on her and you get taken to the page to check out the game that I'm working on. You'll also be able to find, Google it, like Google Palace Quest on YouTube. Then you'll find all the music I've made for that game thus far. But yeah, that's just a shameless plug. Very well then, Mr. Luke at me. I'm going to allow the defense to question your remarks. The defense would like to hear why you declared the defendant to be the true murderer. So please, give us one last bit of testimony. Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance. Okay. Indeed, it's true that I was not at Lordly Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph ready. My brilliant deduction was that it was no distractions allowed. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that it was the true culprit was Rhonda Light. That makes no sense to me whatsoever, at all. Actually, thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. Did my Joy-Con die? No. Okay. The button did not leave any fingerprints. Why? The victim would have left print to be sounded it, which means the killer. No texting in court, love it. Which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter? The victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Zvati! Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. That is a very long testimony, and do I even have time to unravel it all? This testimony seems to hold up pretty well, actually. The witness's earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything. But of course. But how did you know about the emergency buzzer? The police investigation documents went directly through me, and I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, sir lawyer. Did you just call me the schmuck? Are you going to make even more trouble for us now, sir lawyer? I will not allow any more of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright. We cannot postpone his trial any longer. This is your last chance. Just one chance.
Hold it!
It's not water, but it's juice. Good old carton of that good old diet juice. I don't have water on hand right now, lol. What's the point of between using that and hydrate? So I had that command set up before I was able to, before my channel unlocked the use of channel points. So I've actually forgotten to take that out because basically when you type, the way I had it set up is that when you typed in command water, then the streamline says, hold it, Jerry, the chat requests you take a sip of water. and then this thing is meant to come up automatically. But because I don't have my app on my phone set up for automatic things, it didn't show up, so I manually put it up. But I should probably remove the command and move the channel point feature to the... Basically, there's a couple of things that need to rearrange. But after the stream, I'll fix it so that the channel point version, the hydrate version, is the only one that is valid. So, what do you mean, so it would seem? Listen, Phoenix, pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it. Cup number 17, the last cup. Seems like we've come to an end to this trial. I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony, and I need to point it out without presenting evidence, which means all I can do is press it. You only get one chance. Oh, I only get one chance to press. Fuck off then. So what is this one thing that doesn't make any sense? It's true that was not a Lolly Taylor. Okay. I'd known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph ready. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron the Light. Oh wait, Danielle, now that you're here, so real quick, take a look at this. As soon as he said this, I thought of you, and I was like, is that actually a Yiddish proverb? A half-truth is a whole lie. Thanks to the key card and the wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I also gave a deduction for the buzzer, which only sounded was once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his mask. Never heard of it before in my life, and it doesn't sound Yiddish. It doesn't sound Yiddish either to me. And I don't know what Yiddish is, but I was like, which is why I wish you were there at the time so you can verify it, because I was like, I don't know about that. Mr. Delight was wearing his the mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. I'm taking a screenshot of that. Oh, is it Yiddish? Say less. Taking a screenshot of that because there's so many to go through, and apparently I can only press one. So, and that blackmail letter, the victim was like. Reason why I'm looking at this because does he know? Is it because of his nose? Yeah, you did mention that yesterday, actually, to be fair. The reason I'm looking at this is because how did he know he was wearing the mask outfit? I don't believe he was in the room I don't believe he was in the room when we found out that let me make another save. I don't think he was in the room when we found out that what's his name? Ron said that he showed up to the place in his mask outfit. No one knew that, not even us. We were completely blindsided by it. But Luke Atme was not in the room. He was having his trial in the next room, which means this one. How did you know? About this last remark. You still don't get it, do you, Wright? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness in every little statement. I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot. What? Mr. Atme, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. He does look really cool, Godot. But which wouldn't be accepted for any other ethnic group. He's a load of Jewish stereotypes. The Yiddish proverb just sums it. That's why I brought it up, to be fair. Like, as soon as you said Yiddish, I remember you saying, like, something about, like, his character design seems very anti-Semitic. So I was like, this links kind of to what you were saying the other day. Yiddish is a mix of European language. Yes, we invented it because we keep having to move. Yeah. If you live in the roof, they speak Yiddish, not Hebrew. Do they not? I don't know the difference between Hebrew and Yiddish, so I wouldn't have known. But I didn't know Fiddler on the Roof, good movie by the way, they spoke Yiddish. Wonder why. But I remember you telling me about this, about how it was like an amalgamation of different European language because of how y'all had to keep moving country to country all the time. How could you say that? Let's review your testimony, shall we? The button did not leave any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit. How did you know? That's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof. More like your deductions prove that you're a fool. No one knew. For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty. When exactly did we learn the fact that Ron Delight was dressed as Master Mask when he went to the scene of the crime? That was, it was just a few hours ago, back when my six cuppers looking at me with a cold stare. Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up to now. That's right. The defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know this are those who have been watching this trial. Do you understand now, Detective Atme? There is no way that you should have known about that. You were in the next room being tried as Mask the Mask. So then enlighten us. Just how did you know about that piece of information?
Objection!
Come on. This detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand. And it's those chances that I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit. There was only one way for Detective Atme to have found that out. Only one way, you say. Please recall, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. For a second, my client witnessed the real killer. But Mr. Delight never saw his attacker. So there's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Atme. It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head. Just what are you implying? Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron Delight. Impossible. Detective Atme, you saw Mask the Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. What's going on? Oh, he's burning up. Oh, wait, what? He's about to go Super Saiyan, isn't he? Oh no, he's just laughing. Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. That's the same line you gave yesterday. But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time. What an awfully complicated incident. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight. And upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Atme tried to frame Ron Delight, and then claimed to be guilty as Mask the Mask in order to escape his true crime. And to that end, he came up with this plan, to use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi. At any rate, it would seem we finally found the truth. Joker without the sex appeal, lol. Excuse me, I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man, besmirching him with the title of murderer. Don't ignore me! Oh, I didn't realize you were still there. About the verdict, I know. You never committed any murder. That's right, I'm so glad you understand that, but I really am Mask the Mask. Huh? So thanks to that trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? What was it you said? Yeah, that's sick. That's sick. Yeah, he can't be tried as... Yeah, he could admit he's Master Mask, but you can't be tried for the crime. What was it you said? Double jeopardy? Now that you mention it, I've been careless. Careless? What do you think, Mia? The defendant says the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. A defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent. Then, Master Mask is really innocent? It would seem so. For now. For now. Now then, this court finds the defendant. For real this time? Boy, this is really lucky. Wait, this isn't so good after all. You see, the thing is, I still am Master Mask after all. Okay. You did it, Phoenix. Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days. Oh? I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days. You mean about becoming the master of the Korean channeling school? Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother. Misty Fate, right? Watch over her, will you, Phoenix? Why are you dissatisfied? Well then, see you around. Mister, what is wrong? I don't know what to say. Congratulations, Dr. Delight. Thank you so much. No, wait. Wasn't a good ending? I don't know. You were pretty much only there for the end. To be fair. Come on, just be happy already. Maya, you've been cleared of the murder charges and got off as Master Mask to boot. But in exchange, I lost everything. Huh? What do you mean? Stealing security information from KB Security, becoming Master Mask. I did it all for one reason. For her. It's not sass if it's true. You mean your wife, Desiree? She hates criminals more than anything. Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she? She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I fired from KB money and I lost all the money I had, KB Security, sorry, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure. So that's why I became Mask to Mask. Yes, but it's all over now. A broken bowl can never be put back together. That's not true, right, Nick? Right. Really? Can we go back to the way things were? You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it. I can? I kind of wish... Which I mean... Mr. Light, even if a bowl is broken, there was always a way to put it back together. What? Von Karma is no more. Soz salad solidus. You mean this? The sacred urn. Desi was the one who found this. Desiree, your wife, she's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. There you are. Mr. Light. You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy. Thank you. I appreciate that, but I suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you? Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you quit KB Security. I never imagined that you really were Master Mask either. What are you going to do now that you know? You're not really going to leave him, are you? Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast, so there's no way he could ever get away. But didn't you say that you hated criminals? Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky, like that detective. I see. My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them, like a man. I just like how a man is so chivalrous. They should divorce, in all honesty. They're not a good match. Ah, come on. They're all right. I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement. Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy. Yes? I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. Oh, well, take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy. Mr. Nick, Mrs. Maya, congratulations. Oh, it's her again. Talk about bad timing. Mr. Nick, how could you with another man's wife in front of Mystic Maya? You got it all wrong. I'll never forgive you. She keeps hitting me. So just as the case came to close, so did too my consciousness. Ron said a broken ball can never be put back together, but I know that's not true. I mean, just look. Look at it! Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together even better than before. Burn down, da 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 da. Burn down, da 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 da. All right, cool.